we have been extremely civilized because we've looked at SAARC as SAARC. Otherwise, all conversations on themes like this in our subcontinent degenerate into a solitary theme. For instance, India-Pak. Now, we shall resist the Indo-Pak thing because the talks are taking place tomorrow. What do you make of President Rajapaksa's visit? Despite the noises created in Chennai. Look, this is a short-term thing. He has the power, he can do it now. But day after tomorrow, that is going to drag on. How do we get around it?
Yeah, I think the two things here. I think one, the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, is making it very clear that, look, there is a new setup in Delhi. This is not going to be like the previous government.
Right.
That Mr. Manmohan Singh could not even travel to a multilateral summit in Colombo because there was noise from his own party, the Tamil wing of his party, saying you can't go to Colombo for the Commonwealth Summit. So I think in many ways the Congress was ready to appease whoever, whether it was Mamata Banerjee in West Bengal, whether it is Karunanidhi in Chennai. I think the new message from Delhi is that, look, we will take into account the interests of our regional partners, but we are not going to cede the authority and the constitutional responsibility to conduct foreign policy. So I think that's an important message to everyone, because a lot of times this is posturing. This is not serious, because remember in 2009, when LTT was actually being wiped out, in the middle of an election in Tamil Nadu, there was no protest. But when it is today, there is no threat, so therefore it's much easier to do it. Second, I think if you don't talk to Rajapaksa, you don't have any leverage. So I think by being tough with his allies in Chennai, he's in a better position to engage Rajapaksa on the Tamil issue. So if you want to solve the Tamil issue in Sri Lanka, you should be able to engage both sides and to talk to both people in Sri Lanka. So I think it opens the room for him. And I hope that the Prime Minister, like for example with West Bengal, he must convey the similar message that, look, we're going to sign the Teesta Waters Agreement.
It's ready.
It's ready. It's been signed with the previous government. So I think if he goes to Dhaka early and makes it clear that, look, we're going to do what is right for the country, and we were ready to explain it to the people of West Bengal, that, look, this is not against your interests, and that if we signed the Teesta Water Treaty, we would have actually got transit agreement, which Assam would have benefited, which all across Northeast there have been a huge benefits. So I think, but the previous government was not willing to make the political case. But now you have a leader, I think, who can make the political argument, appeal to the people, and look beyond appeasing short-term pressure groups that emerge in the conduct of foreign policy.
There will always be. I mean, in a country like India, there will be a greater emphasis in Tamil Nadu on the Sri Lanka policy. You come to West Bengal and it'll be Bangladesh policy. But you come to North India and the rest of the country, it is Pakistan which dominates. Now, the talks, of course, will take place. My own guess is that it would be extremely unrealistic of us to expect any substantive dialogue. I think this is a time to establish some kind of chemistry between the leaders, to see whether the eye contact is right, whether the basic electricity is there to proceed, whether various members of the delegation get along. I think that is what one should look at. Sheel.
Yes, it is necessary, because the kind of propaganda which has been unnecessarily spewed against the new dispensation, that was unreasonable and unnecessary.
Against which?
About the new Prime Minister, the kind of the build-up which was there about his being a hardliner and what he represented. All that is now put behind.
All is fair in love and war. That was a campaign. It was a spectacular campaign where everything was said, good and bad. Keep that behind us.
So
that is the way I'm looking at him.
That is put behind. And now they see the persona of the new Prime Minister face to face. They come and meet each other, break ice, and realize from his language, from his narrative, that here is a person they can do business with, because there's not a single word in his narrative since last 10 days where they can fault him. He's talking consistently of the things which are required to be talked in South Asia: peace, cooperation, friendly gestures, and the value of that. As Raj said, the mutual benefit which is implicit into this kind of a thing. So I think tomorrow's meetings with all the leaders, including with Pakistan, are going to be a very important first step. It's actually a first in SAARC, in South Asian regionalism, that he's invited them impromptu, and they've come impromptu. And there are talks, and there's breaking of ice. They'll meet each other. It's very good. It sets a very good precedent.
I believe he will unlock the key to the social problems that stare us in the face in the country, because the lock is somewhere there. If we sort out with our neighbors, sort out with Bangladesh, sort out with Pakistan, it immediately brings down the temperature here. We can then begin to address Kashmir. We can. Everything. I have a feeling that he's thrown this Brahmastra, and I'm optimistic. I like to be optimistic on this one. What about you?
I think what you said is absolutely right. I mean, I think for all, while we treat each other as separate states, I mean, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, that we came out of the partition, and the partition left a number of serious problems on the issue of minorities, treatment of minorities across the board. So I think Pakistan-Bangladesh relations are not entirely foreign policy issues, they're domestic policy issues as well. Because we're still struggling to deal with the agenda that was left behind by the unresolved problems of partition. So I think any reconciliation with the neighbors, I think, creates conditions under which you could create social harmony in each of the countries.
Yes.
So therefore, whether it's Bangladesh's struggle against extremism today, or Pakistan's own struggle against militant groups, and India's own problems and terrorism, all this the context will be changed if all of us have better relations with each other, and if we can begin to engage on trade, on commerce, on create more trans-border cooperation. So I think there's something big here. But tomorrow I would think, whether you call it substantive dialogue or not, I think there's a moment for Sharif and Modi to sit down and say, look, both of us have got strong mandates. That's what Mr. Sharif has said today. Now, given our strength domestically, can we do something together? They're not going to negotiate the nitty-gritty, but they can set the broad parameters in which their representatives can begin talking seriously and to find a way forward from trade to Kashmir. The whole range of things are actually possible.
Yeah.
I have.
Sorry, you're saying something?
Yes,
Sheel?
I feel that a good message from SAARC also reassures the larger international community. You see, they have also been somewhat apprehensive, but now this new beginning and the kind of good chemistry which is now visible on the television, and tomorrow what will happen, it will send a message across the continent, to Europe, to America, to China, to Russia, that here is a new move. There is a new government which is trying to move things in the right direction, and that government is confident. The desire to work relations with the neighbors is not an excuse for internal incompetence. They are focused on internal competence. They are focused on building the country strong. But at the same time, they reach out to the neighbors in a very positive way, connecting, caring, problem solving, and reassuring.
We are running out of time, Raja Mohan. How would you sum up the?
I think the Prime Minister has signaled that subcontinent or neighborhood would be a top priority. Now, I think a good beginning has been made. Now, a whole lot of follow-up steps are possible in the coming days, whether related to trade, confidence building, political problems. But the first thing I would say is start traveling in the neighborhood.
Well, that is the consensus here. The Prime Minister has actually tossed a very important move of his in the arena. Everyone is going to be grappling with it. Everyone is going to be looking at it. The world is looking at it. The neighborhood, of course, Asia, Europe, the United States of America, China, everyone is looking at this great energy that has been unleashed in India and how it is going to shape the country and the region. I think that will define the earlier part of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's innings. On that note, thank you very much.